We then proceeded at that point into our simulated countdown.
Lunchtime, kids!
All right!
Hello, friends. It's lunchtime.
Welcome back to the lunch break on RNCN, and welcome me back, everybody. Isn't that great? Isn't it great that I'm here? Not really. I'm Matt. I'm your host. We're going to do a shorter show today because we have a very busy schedule. I've got work to catch up on. We've got people coming in, so we'll probably go to about 12:30 or so. I hope that doesn't disappoint you, but we're going to pack so much goodness into that 30-minute show that it's going to feel like it's 3 hours long. With me is Zach in studio.
Hi.
Christina.
Hello.
Anna running the board for the first time.
Hello,
for the lunch
everybody.
break.
Hey.
Yeah.
Blame all the problems on her.
Oh,
Anna on the
totally.
board.
I was driving the other, was it the other day? It was Saturday, I think it was. I was driving home, and I saw a family. This was down Audelia Road in Dallas, which is a relatively big road. And I saw a family walking along the sidewalk, husband, wife, and their probably 5-year-old son, dressed up as Spider-Man, carrying a pail.
Okay.
A Halloween pail. And this was, again, Saturday at probably 6 o'clock. It was still light outside. And I thought to myself, well, what do they do? They're out trick-or-treating, clearly, because they're going down the sidewalk where houses are. They're out trick-or-treating at 6 o'clock on the Saturday before Halloween. And
Monsters.
Exactly. Well, so I was talking to my wife about it, and she was like, well, I guess they're out. I mean, I understood why, because Halloween this year falls on a Wednesday. And she said, well, I guess they're out trying to do some trick-or-treating. You know, maybe the kid has school or something has to go to. I mean, they could have been older than 5, but they may have work or something, so they're out just trick-or-treating. But I want to point out they were the only person doing this. It wasn't like a group had gotten together and like, we're going to go, or this was a neighborhood thing. It was just one person going door to door knocking for trick-or-treating. And I thought, like, you're breaking the rules here. Like, you're not playing by the rules of Halloween.
Right. You're the guy on July 2nd who's setting off fireworks.
Exactly.
2 days before July 4th.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And so, first of all, I thought, who in the world is ready for trick-or-treaters on the Saturday before Halloween, unless it was, a neighborhood. If a neighborhood wants to get together and say, let's all just do our trick-or-treating, then that's fine. But if you're just one or two families walking around the neighborhood, who's going to be ready for that? And I also think that part of the fun of Halloween, when it doesn't fall on a weekend, is the running wild through the neighborhood on a school night or whatever. Right. That was great. Like,
that was
to
great
me,
in my childhood.
that was part of Halloween. I mean, I feel like we're all on the same page here, but we should at least go around the room for discussion. Trick or treating on the weekend prior to Halloween, good or bad?
Right.
Where do you fall?
First, let me jump in here. Matt, you're the kind of guy you put up with so many different opinions in your life. You worked in radio, you worked in broadcast.
Sure.
Like you're down to listen to anybody. But like one of the things you're so staunch on is Halloween, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Look, I
Matt
take
coming
it
live.
seriously.
Like listen, like Halloween's real. All right. I wouldn't even be ready if somebody rolled up and knocked on the door like trick or treat. I'd be like, sorry, like I wouldn't have an answer for you. Like I don't have a candy jar sitting in my apartment. If I did, I'd be dead. Like I'm not about that. I wouldn't be ready for that. And there's no way like anybody in this neighborhood has ample notice. It's not like they got a next door like, hey, we're gonna walk our kid around 3 days before and see if we can scoop some candy.
Hey, everybody, be home at 6 o'clock on Saturday so my kid can go trick or treating.
Right. I'm going to estimate conservatively. All right. Maybe this is one of the situations where they were busy Wednesday. They were going to be out of town. So they were like, well, maybe we can walk around, but we can't go knock on any houses. Maybe that was the thing. Like,
So you're just walking the
but
streets?
then what's the point? I mean, right? Like, there's no way they're soliciting candy from people 3 days before Halloween. It doesn't work any other day of the year. It's only one. One day of the year you can walk up to people's houses, knock, and expect candy.
Ask for stuff.
Yeah.
No
Every other day you're not
candy.
going to get that
That's
lucky.
just exercising.
Well,
Yeah,
right.
This is exercising
That's a
in
walk
costume.
is what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they were excited and they were like, let's walk you around the neighborhood in advance, work out a route or something.
Yeah, like,
he
here's
wa-
what
he
it's
was
gonna be
so
like.
psyched about his costume. He wanted to wear it, take the pail.
It could have been. It could have been.
Maybe.
Knowing what we know, or knowing that Halloween falls on a Wednesday, it was not out of the realm of possibility that they were actually trying to do some trick or treating. But it could have just been a practice run. Maybe it's his first time out. I don't know. Christina, are you pretty staunchly October 31st? That's when you're out trick or treating.
Well, yeah. I think that's weird. And plus, they have like the whole like trunk or treat stuff at like
Oh, don't even get me
churches
started on
on the
that.
weekends.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't
trunk
even
or
get me
treat.
started on that.
Oh, dear.
You can go to like the mall. Well, I know back in the day you could go to like the malls and like go trick
Yeah.
or treating on the weekends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's other events that they could go to and not bug their neighbors. Like, hey, it's 4 days early. I hope you have candy. That's,
Yeah.
Right.
that's all.
Anna, I know Halloween's not huge in Europe, but do you have some hot Halloween opinions?
I
Have you
haven't been
formed them?
Halloweening around the neighborhood or trick or treating around the neighborhood. I have though just gone to Halloween parties, and that's that bomb. Just went on Saturday, but
Sure,
trick or treating. We actually live in an apartment, so we haven't witnessed that moment when you get the kids knocking on the door. But my husband has been already very, very kind of frontal about his approach to it. He's like, Halloween gonna come? Well, we're gonna turn off the lights, close all the doors
wow.
and windows, and pretend we're not home.
Grinches.
Hold on.
So
Well,
someone is
currently-
not celebrating Halloween on our house.
You currently
Just saying.
you're in an apartment, but you're working on getting a home. Surely
Yes.
that will not be a rule.
Yeah, you cannot maintain
Oh
that
yeah, he
rule when you're in a
intends to
home.
on. He intends to do that. Yep.
Listen.
Not to not let people up.
You're gonna
What,
get
a,
the dark
what a monster! Is he in
house.
the? I'm not in the chat. Is he watching today? Is he? Because
I
that
don't
is
think he is.
that is shameful.
That is. Come on.
That is absolutely shameful.
I think he needs to sit down with you and have a conversation about how to do Halloween right. Because clearly, Matt, you need to guide him into like maybe he hasn't had an introduction and a proper introduction to Halloween. I think
That's
that's,
fair.
why. So I think that's what he needs. But I'll be honest, I'm kind of like we have a similar thing. So in Portugal. In January, we celebrate the Januaries. This is me trying to Englishcize a word
The
that I don't.
Januaries?
The January.
Romanize is the
So
term.
Romanize, there we
That's
go.
right. Yeah,
So,
'cause we, somehow English got the Romans. Like, yeah, we took them over.
Yeah,
we got them. Yeah,
clearly.
Yeah, you're trying to Romanize the term.
So in January, what we do is a similar thing. I don't know if they do it in France, but what you do is you have people singing songs, and they go door to door, and you're meant to give them money. It's kind of like related to
caroling?
church. Yes,
Sounds
caroling.
like caroling, yeah.
Yes, you do that here as well.
well, on Christmas, not in January.
So we do that from the first week to like the 6th, because it's related to the kings, the ones that went through the This is when sometimes I get lost in translation. So when baby Jesus,
the wise men.
the wise men, there we
Yes,
go.
yeah.
We call them the
three kings.
The kings.
Yeah,
Three
okay.
kings, yeah.
So they, for whatever reason, Spanish celebrate kind of like they exchange gifts on the 6th. And so that week leading up to it is the most important one, where people go around the neighborhood and they sing songs and then you give them money. But that's again when if you turn all the lights and turn off, close the doors and all the things, they don't think you're there and then they skip. So I think if they do it in France, I think Diego was traumatized by that, I guess.
Oh,
Really?
he just doesn't want to. He just doesn't.
Yeah,
Want to
I think that's it. But I'm looking forward to it next year.
You're gonna have to give it a shot when you have a house. And I like, to me, I know you didn't grow up with this, but
Yeah,
like,
we did not.
I can't overstate how wonderful it was when it fell on a weekday, because you just kind of had free reign. Like you were up, and it never lasts that long. I mean, like maybe you're out until 9 or 9:30. Like it's
Yeah.
not you know, if you're a teenager, you're probably out until midnight. But if you're a kid being led around around by your parents, you're back home at a reasonable time.
Sure.
There's a group called the Halloween and Costume Association, which sounds fake to me.
Really?
Yes. They have set up a change.org petition that in instances like this year, where Halloween falls in the middle of a week or just on a weekday, they want us to universally recognize that trick-or-treating should happen on the last Saturday in October. So rather than wait until Halloween, it would happen like this family was trying to do on their own.
Yeah.
On the last Saturday, they have. I pulled it up here. Here it is. Petition.
I got a handful of reasons why I already disagree with this, and I can't wait to explain them.
Yes.
So go ahead.
They're trying to get to 35,000 signatures. They've already got 28,270 monsters that have signed on to this thing.
Monsters?
Yeah.
Their reasoning, at least their stated reasoning on the change.org, it has nothing to do with kids should be going to bed at a reasonable time or anything like that.
No.
It's all about safety. They say, there are 3,800 Halloween-related injuries. 82% of parents don't put any sort of visibility glow sticks on their children's costumes.
God.
63% don't carry a flashlight. 65% don't talk about Halloween safety with their kids. And the only somewhat supporting evidence they have here is 51% of millennials say Halloween's their favorite holiday, but even then they're extrapolating then why cram it into a couple of hours on a weekday rather than give it its full day. But you have people saying it makes sense to have it on a Saturday, so we don't have to worry about getting kids home and in bed early. Again, it was never really an issue. Usually Halloween trick-or-treating in my neighborhood wraps up by 8 or 9 o'clock. It would be much safer if it was celebrated. Okay, here's they want to celebrate it during the day.
Yep. That's exactly what I
Yeah.
don't want to do on a Saturday. Yeah. None of that. No, sir.
Yeah, it said it would be
that's
safer
nonsense.
if
That's
celebrated
nonsense.
during daylight hours.
Nope.
Which can only happen on non-school days
Nope,
like
nope.
Saturday. Get out of my face with trick-or-treating in the middle of the day.
No, yeah,
That's not what
you
it's
need
about.
you need that 9 to 5 buffer where you can expect nobody to be around your house till about 5:30 at the earliest.
Yeah, if it's an entire day, like people can
Yeah.
be trickling through whenever.
Yep.
No, I'm not giving up my entire day to sit there and
Yes.
wait for kids to come.
You'd have
by.
to sit there all day from the morning to night. Like that's no good.
But on top of that, like how scary is it for a Grim Reaper to walk up to your house at 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
not scary at all.
Like a terrible little costume to walk up and like, come on, the
Right.
darkness is part of it.
I know. That's part of the whole thing.
Part of
It's
what
like-
makes
it's like-
costumes good.
Almost wanting to wrap children in bubble wrap. Like, make it as safe as it can be, as disgusting. Like, how scary can it be? It's like the spirit of Halloween is about making it scary, right? If it's broad daylight,
Yeah.
what? It makes no sense.
You lose everything. And look, like Halloween safety is a problem. I see kids. I don't live on a very busy street. A lot of people don't drive down that street on when there's trick or treating. But I see kids just like darting across the street and stuff.
Yeah.
That obviously needs to be taken care of. But simply moving it to an entire day, I don't think changes anything about. Like I think actually you're just sort of expanding the window for when kids could get run over.
Right.
Because if I'm driving down the street at 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, I'm not expecting trick-or-treaters to come darting out from behind cars or something like that.
Yeah.
If it's nighttime on Halloween, then I'm ready for trick-or-treaters. Otherwise, I'm not looking for them.
And even if you're coming home late that day, I know that I've been out on the road on Halloween and I've always remembered, hey, this is the time to watch for little kids walking around in neighborhoods. Like, you know,
Yeah.
they're going to be out. You just know on that day, October 31st, be extra careful.
Right. I mean, and that's part of the fun of Halloween for me. I like watching horror movies all month. I like talking about horror stuff and Halloween, and like there's a whole thing to the season of the witch, and like leading up to the penultimate October 31st, the last day, the final hours is like the big thing.
Yeah.
That's Halloween. That's when people go out. Like that's the whole game. If you move that to some arbitrary day like stupid Thanksgiving, nobody's going to care as much.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to take off. We have people chiming in here with, the only reason, this is on the change.org petition, the only reason they want, this is somebody who doesn't support it, that they want to change the date is for money. I don't really follow that. They say the more people that trick or treat, the more costumes that are sold and the more money in their pocket. I don't think you're going to get more people trick or treating just because it's on a weekend. I mean,
Yeah,
people go out anyway.
I don't think like Spirit Halloween stores is in on
Yeah.
this, like trying to get one over on
Big
people.
costume is trying to hold us down.
Big costume, yeah, trying to fool people.
Someone says it's ridiculous. People already celebrate the weekend before, regardless of what day of the week, and that's true. I think if you're an adult and you want to have a Halloween party on the Saturday, that's fine. Knock yourself out. I get that. This person says you clearly don't know the origins of Halloween.
Wow.
Anna, you went to a Halloween party this weekend, right?
I did, and thank God that wasn't on the Wednesday because man, I would be destroyed today.
Were you? Yeah. You were in costume, right?
Oh, I was totally in costume. I was Mia from
Mia
Pulp
Wallace
Fiction.
from Pulp
yeah.
Fiction. Okay, thank
and
God.
Diego was
good.
Vincent. Yep.
Okay.
We
I saw.
I had a twin there, and I was very disappointed. I was the healthy one. She was the post-syringe
Hold
on
on.
the chest.
There were
no.
multiple
Mia Wallaces?
Wallaces at this party. I mean,
It
that's
just
like
happened.
that is I will say that's a deep cut, especially in 2018.
Yeah.
If you're going as a Pulp Fiction character, if you're not going as like the main two guys, if you're going as just like, I think that's a
Right, that's big.
that is a deep cut. So that there was another one there.
Well,
It's
I did have my partner, so we could do the dance. We'd
Okay,
only do
that's
it
good.
once.
Nice.
But other than that, yeah. She did have like the bleeding nose and some blood in her shirt. So yeah.
Did you two fight at the end of the night or anything like that?
No, I was
there a-
like, oh my God, my twin. And we
Okay. Oh,
hugged.
so you were excited about this.
Totally.
Any other good costumes that you saw?
Pero
I saw that.
Yep,
That was a
yep.
good one. That was
That's
a good one.
that's a solid pick for 2018.
I gotta
Yeah.
say, he was, my God, I'm shifting around the cameras right here.
It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Sweating it.
It's good exercise.
Yeah, finger exercise. Pianist. I gotta say, he was really good. He was really in character. He was very funny. He kept on like trying to get people to vote.
It's good.
Was he texting everyone all night?
No, he was, but he was like incredible. He had a sign. Dude, can I? All right, so live production here. Let me
Oh
see
man,
if I
Anna's
can.
going for some live
Oh.
production.
Let
First
me
time behind the
see.
behind the
Look
control
at
board.
that.
Right.
Nice.
All right. Let's
Uh-oh.
see if I can do that. All right.
All
So
right.
that's down. All right. Camera. I'll put camera on 5 so it doesn't check on my face while I'm doing
What is
this.
that?
My
one?
panic.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
panic
That one
face.
there.
Yes.
Hi. Yeah.
So hilarious thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that maybe I'll have to do.
You know what's great about this? People can
Yeah.
appreciate for a second how much trouble it is to make things happen
Oh,
in there. So when
totally.
it goes smoothly, like
It's
you
like-
don't see any of this.
Is like really should you? All right. So he had a yard sign and he was carrying that around, and it was really funny because he was like, I'm, because I asked him something like, oh, because, what you just took someone's yard sign. What if they don't see that, they gotta
Concerned
vote.
that somebody stole a yard sign.
Right. And he was like, no, I'll hold the sign for you. But like even having the same like, the same speech patterns and everything, it was great. And he kept on saying stuff like, yes, because, it doesn't matter that I'm here. I'm with my constituents here, and I'm spreading the word.
Right. It
Like,
doesn't
was
matter if
just
you're
so-
Republican or Democrat. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like,
yeah.
we all gotta vote. We gotta perform our civic duties. It was just incredible. He was pretty good. All right, I'm almost there.
I guess if you're gonna go for a political outfit, like Donald Trump was so 2016, right?
Oh,
like
totally.
We've already moved on.
All right, I'm almost there. I think. I hope. Oh, damn it! I was expecting that Paige had posted that on here and not on Instagram. Can I carry on these live
Yeah,
production?
why did you move this
So-
to this camera? You should have kept that on you in there. This is all good. This is all interesting.
right.
That's where the action.
So
Yeah.
I'll just say, speaking
These
of
panic. Yes.
of Instagram,
Yes.
there is this is a somewhat of a deep cut. There is a very popular costume this year on Instagram, and that is of Violet Beauregard. Does that name ring a bell for anyone?
Series of Unfortunate Events?
No, this
No?
is the girl that gets turned into a blueberry
yes.
on Willy Wonka.
Violet
Oh,
Baudelaire
really?
is Series of Unfortunate
Yeah.
Events on Netflix. The girl that gets turned into a blueberry in Willy Wonka?
Yeah, so
Why is she a hot pick?
I don't know. A lot of people have decided that they're just going to paint their faces blue and they're going to go like wear
Wow.
blue sweats.
Isn't that
They're
like a
gonna go
lazy
as-
costume? Isn't that a lazy costume?
I mean, I guess kind of, but it's very evocative. Like the second you see
You
somebody
know.
show up looking like a blueberry.
All right.
I
you
don't
know,
know
like-
if
you know what's up.
you have to paint yourself blue. So I don't really consider that lazy. I
That
think
does seem
would
to be a part
No,
of
that
it,
is that is quite a bit of work. But it's relatively simple, I guess.
All
I guess
right,
you
I'm
got it.
gonna try to.
Oh, no, you're holding a phone to a
literally,
camera.
I can't
Anna,
find
we're
the
better,
photo.
okay.
I can't
Oh,
find
okay.
the photo.
We're better than that.
Wait.
When you,
Wait.
Lord.
I'm doing. I can't find it. There you go,
Oh,
everybody.
dear. All
That's
right.
me.
Perfect.
Oh, there we go.
For a half second when you sent that photo, I was like, "What? Really?" And then I realized, no, he's carrying a yard sign
Not actually him.
and holding a microphone. I'm like, "What? Who is?"
Yeah, I
It's a
was,
good, yeah, it's a good
I was
bit.
interviewing
You got the
him.
props. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere on the internet, there's proof that I am interviewing him. So that was. It was fun.
Sorry to jump
ahead.
in here. I went to like a fundraising event, I guess, not this Saturday, but the last Saturday before, and it was an 80s themed thing. Unfortunately, my Halloween outfit this year is 80s, so I was
Yeah?
like, oh, perfect, I'll just wear that.
Did you pull it off?
There were, I think so, yeah. There were 3 other people dressed as the same thing as
course.
me.
Oh.
I was the best one, to be fair. I got an extra. I
The
was
most Lakers?
I was already a VIP. Yeah, I was already a VIP thing, and some drunk dude came up and gave me an extra VIP armband. And he said there was some kind of contest, and if whoever's got the most at the end of the night wins or something. I was like, I don't know what that means. But yeah, I was. That feels good. If you're gonna have multiple of the same outfit, be the best one. Like that's always a good time,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure you won the contest between coked out Mia Wallace and sober Mia Wallace. But
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm gonna be honest. Like she definitely went the extra mile there.
She
but,
did.
Yeah,
So yeah, but I brought an extra character with me,
you did.
and I could perform the dance.
Vincent Vega.
Not
Yeah,
by
and
myself.
If you had the routine down, then I
true.
think you're doing
Yeah,
all right.
totally.
We've got a few minutes left, so I'm just going to power through this thing. We haven't taken a
Oh,
single
okay.
break.
No breaks.
That's how
All right.
committed we are to giving you the most content
For your buck.
possible on the lunch break. So I'm just going to move on to this other story. I'm glad we all agree that trick-or-treating not on Halloween is a monsters game,
Not
and
okay.
Please don't do that.
Talk to your kids about safety though. 65%? How is that even
How
a
do you
real
not
number?
talk to your kids about
I don't
safety?
believe that at all. Yeah, that sounds
That's
skewed.
ridiculous.
Fake news.
I don't like the I mean, I get it, but I don't like the glow sticks on the costume, especially if it doesn't match the costume. Like
Yeah.
if I'm showing up as some sort of demon and I have a bunch of glow sticks on me,
Right.
no, thank you. But put something reflective, or at least walk with your kids and have flashlights and
I
you
get
know,
that.
Or
yeah.
just-
talk to them
it's-
about not running in the street.
It's almost like when you drive past uptown in Dallas, it's like dodging the drunks.
Yeah,
It's like you just gotta be aware. That's all you gotta
Right, if
care,
you're- if-
right?
if you're driving on Halloween, you ought to know. Like you know what's going on.
Yeah, real ones know. That's right.
right.
For a different type of treat, if people are, how do you like protein bars? Do people in this room like protein bars? Cliff Bar or a granola bar or anything like that?
Surprisingly, usually I'm into them. Yeah, I can usually get into whatever nasty flavor they got or
We've got a few upstairs. Christina,
horrid texture.
yeah.
I'm not a protein bar person. I'm a protein shake person.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We get some
What is it
banana
about
in
the
there. That's good
what is
stuff.
it about the protein bar that you're not a
I
fan of?
don't know. They're grainy. They're
Yeah.
texture. Some are chalky. I don't like it.
Anna, how about protein bars?
I love them. Between you and I, we'll just go upstairs and just pick up one and then come downstairs.
Yeah,
Pretty
I'll grab
good.
them all the time.
Yeah.
I like the chalky thing. You're right. I mean,
Yeah.
that is a thing.
Yeah.
Really, I
and,
like it.
That's something that I've just sort of gotten used to. Well, apparently, people have found a way around that. If you have a texture issue with protein bars, folks say if you put them in the microwave for 20 seconds, you are going to get yourself a nice, chewy, dessert-like protein bar experience.
The
I
hot
never even thought
protein
to
bar.
do that, but I mean, I guess at first it sounds like that's kind of a little gross. Like I don't know why it's not. I don't know. I don't heat up like chocolate bars or anything in the
Yeah.
microwave. I want those as solid as possible.
Do you toast your Pop Tarts? That thing you.
I do toast my Pop-Tarts.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. We're not too far.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, they're supposed to be
I'll
toasted. I
put
guess
like
I
a
get that.
room temperature cookie in a microwave and like get it like
Yeah.
like it just came out of the oven.
Yeah,
Well,
so
that's-
if you think of it more as like a
true.
baked good instead of a candy bar, then I guess it makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, some people there's a Reddit thread going around like on how to do this, and people say, yeah, I popped my Cliff Bar for 20 seconds, and it tasted like a peanut butter cake rather than a sort of mostly solid, chewy piece of peanut.
Yeah.
I think Cliff Bars are pretty good, but.
can't
Yeah, I
be.
don't know. The next time you want to give it a shot and throw it in the microwave.
Well, it's undeniably I'm gonna try this, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. Next time at a Cliff Bar, I'll be like, ooh, I'll throw this in the microwave 20 seconds, see what it's like. I'm not into this. I think part of the advantage of protein bars is they are essentially a meal supplement, right? They're a replacement.
It's not supposed to be dessert.
Well, yes, exactly. Yeah. And
Right.
it reminds me of that old Seinfeld bit with people eating dessert with forks and knives and stuff. I'm like, what are we doing? I got a plate now, like a fork and a knife, and cut up my piping hot Cliff Bar? Like, that's no good. I want to eat it on the go. That's why it comes in a little baggy. Like, it's great. So you're on your way. What do you think, Christina?
I don't know. I'll try it.
Yeah.
Maybe I will like them.
Maybe it'll
now.
be awesome. I think it'd be different if you had like different flavors will matter. If you got like peanut butter chocolate, maybe that'd be good. If you got like cranberry raisin or something, it's gonna be weird. Yeah, like that's not
Yeah,
gonna
no,
work
that
out.
doesn't seem like a. I guess it could taste like a pie, maybe, but I'm not really sure
Maybe.
about that.
Yeah, but it won't be a pie. If I wanted pie, I'd have
Right,
pie.
you'd
Then
have
you'd eat
pie.
That's the
pie.
difference. Yeah.
So, and then the last story that we'll talk about here is Anna. Did you have anything to add on that? Are you going to try the microwave protein bar or no?
Perhaps. I think we should, after the lunch break, we'll go
No, you'll
upstairs
give it
and
a
have
shot.
an
That'll be lunch.
experiment.
Yeah,
Why
perfect.
not?
So I could see myself running into this problem. So there was a customer of Farmers Insurance, and they inquired about if you are being attacked by a squirrel. So apparently, there is a squirrel in this customer's neighborhood.
Sorry.
Who is regularly throwing pine cones at their car, and I guess damaging parts of the car. I don't know how you damage a car with a pine cone. I guess a sufficiently heavy enough pine cone could
A strong squirrel.
leave a scratch.
Yeah.
Or yeah, this squirrel is the next Roger Clemens and is just like chucking pine cones at their car.
Hucking pine cones with people.
But yeah, they sent in an inquiry. They said, is it covered if a squirrel was to throw pine cones at their car and damage the hood? The agent at Farmers said, yeah. If you have comprehensive insurance, they would cover that. They cited another customer having an animal find its way into the car and chewing up the interior, and that damage was covered. So I guess external damage with squirrels throwing things at your car.
Nice.
Wait.
There you go.
Wait.
Exactly.
Wait.
Now look, like, tell me that doesn't look like
Look
something
at
that could do some
that!
damage.
Live production.
Look at that. If they can throw each other a pine cone, why not? Why not putting it in the car, breaking?
Yeah.
God knows they may breaking into cars. Woof.
Well, here's
You
the
never
thing.
know.
Run that into the end zone.
Here, if this is where we're at with insurance, where
Right.
if you pay for insurance,
Oh no.
that a scenario like a squirrel throwing a pine cone at your car is enough to warrant a claim.
Yeah.
Meaning that they would pay out for damages of your car.
Uh-huh.
I mean, to me, is that a reasonable use of insurance, or is that why insurance costs so much?
No.
It's
No.
because we're paying out claims on squirrels throwing pine cones.
I'm leaning towards the latter. Yeah, how is that not like an act of God kind of thing? Like if my car gets struck by lightning, it just sucks to be you. Like you've been paying out insurance, but it happens. But a squirrel throws a pine cone and like leaves a ding in my paint. It's like we got that. That's fine. That's reasonable. Like what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. And that's where God insurance just starts to fall apart. Oh.
I'm starting to wonder now. A couple months ago, I was dealing with there's a tree overhanging my driveway that was just dropping sap like crazy.
I hate that.
I don't know what
That's-
was
that's always
happening.
good, yeah.
It was as bad as I've ever seen it. Literally, I would have to clean the windshield every single day, and then
that'll ruin your paint.
Exactly.
Like, that will destroy your
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
so and it was still like there's still spots of sap on my car, and I've washed it and things like that, and there's still little places where it's darkened, and I'm wondering now, can I make a claim on insurance because the tree sapped all over my car, and I don't have another place to park. Like this tree overhangs every parking spot around my house, so I'm literally trapped by sap. And could I then make a claim? I assume I could now.
Well,
apparently.
I'd wager that's homeowner negligence. You knew that tree was there. You know you have to park there. You know what that tree's about.
I'm not
You
gonna
should
cut down
cut
the
that down
tree.
yourself. That's
I'm
not
not
you.
I'm not cutting down the tree.
Be a Paul Bunyan. Grab
I
a
don't think
axe.
Zach should ever run an insurance company.
I should not run an insurance. There's so much in the world I don't understand about insurance. Christine, you're Christina, my Christine. Good Lord, she got in a car accident a while back. Everybody's fine, everything worked out. But yeah, like I was so stunned at the payout process and who pays for what and how that all. And she was like, "This is insurance. You don't get how this works." I'm like, "Clearly, I don't. Clearly, I don't understand how insurance works. There's a lot I don't get about the world, and that's insurance."
Am I the only curious person about how that incident? Because I know we spoke about this, and you said you were going to look into it. Did you find out the reason why the tree was acting up like that?
Yeah, on Nextdoor, somebody else was having the problem. They said it could be an aphid infestation.
Okay.
So I didn't see any. But it certainly was abnormal, so I don't know. The tree seems to be okay. It doesn't seem to be dying or anything like that.
I have trouble believing the aphid thing, and the only reason is because the first thing I thought when Anna said, "Did you find out why?" For some reason, my brain was like, "Oh, it's the aphid problem. A bunch of aphids this year."
aphids.
Like, I know nothing about trees.
Aphids are just over in the neighborhood.
aphids, yeah, they'll eat you. I don't know.
All right, we'll do one more quick story here because I'm curious on people's takes. And going back to Halloween, Amazon has pulled a costume from their store. It was a blind referee.
Oh man!
Oh, come on.
So every ref at a
All right,
Cowboys game.
so the-
Right.
Do I need to find the image for this?
Maybe you can find the image while we're
Alright.
looking it up. But I'll describe it. It was a referee, so basically like a referee shirt, with glasses and a cane or
Okay.
a stick. You
Sure.
know, people were of course outraged, saying
course.
that it was making a joke at the expense of blind children. And
Okay, well,
they
that's-
have since pulled the costume, saying that everyone has to follow the
Well,
rules.
children don't ref, so what do they have to do with it? You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, children aren't certified by the National Referee Association, so what does that have to do with blind kids? If you're blind adults, I guess I'd get that. Blind sports officials. Man,
It's funny. It's a play on words.
I,
it's
I'm one of those people, and like I would
I
love,
don't know.
I would love for the cast and crew of this show to educate me and make me a better person.
I don't
we
think I can
we
do
didn't
that.
talk about this. The sexy Handmaid's Tale thing, the costume that got
Oh
pulled.
yeah, that was.
Why did that get pulled?
I
Who? It's a costume. Like
Yeah.
it is inherently a fake thing you buy for $12 out of a bag and put on. Like I didn't get it. Yeah, in the case of this, I'm like, oh, come on. It's one night out of the year. Somebody, of course, is going to be offended. We're all dressing as something we're not. Like, when people don't do costumes because they offend people, I get confused, and those lines blur for me.
So, Dr. Tom Pay, from the
Tom Pay.
Pay,
Yeah.
from the Royal Society for Blind Children, which is an interesting.
What?
I'm not
Come on, what
joking.
does kids have to do with it? It's fine.
He was one of the people who spoke up and said, this is wrong. They said, did they not consider the laugh which this product is trying to invoke would be at the expense of blind children? I can't believe a company would encourage kids to dress up as someone with a disability. Why don't we just go ahead and encourage a mockery of amputees and cancer patients while we're at it? Thank you for telling my child that he is no more than a monster to be made fun of each year. Do you feel like that is a reasonable response to a blind ref costume?
If I'm trying to think of a good cancer patient spin that you could do with like walk around with an IV thing and like I don't know, and I
You
can't
could go as a
think-
pirate with a peg leg, right? And is that
yeah, like
is
that's
that,
at the expense of people with peg legs. Like I guess, man, I don't know what to tell you. The blood alone turns the wheels of history. All right, we offend a lot of people. That's kind of what we're about. And when it comes to dressing up, like somebody somewhere is going to be angry. I guess I wouldn't put it past blind kids. I don't see the kid relation, but
I can see the kid relation if kids are dressing up as this blind referee. Like I feel like that's more of an adult costume, because adults get really mad during sports game when refs make bad calls. So I see the hilarity there. When I saw the picture with the blind glasses, like the legit, like that was a little disturbing to me. So I could see how it could. That's a
just
little,
sunglasses? Throw sunglasses on, and that's
throw
probably
some,
all you
funny
need to do.
aviators on and make it a little bit more funny, not as so accurate.
Right, not
They went
literally
too
blind.
real.
Yeah,
They went too real for
okay.
you.
Wait.
And I would be
Let's.
disturbed if a kid wore that.
What if you had a blind friend that dressed up as a ref?
Oh.
I think that's,
That's
good. I
funny.
think it's
Like
good. I
that
think
one's
that's
That'd
okay.
be
I
rad.
guess that's a pass.
That would, that's definitely.
Because you're like,
fun.
oh, I get it, blind ref, hilarious.
that's-
Yeah.
Very creative. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't see the problem with it, honestly.
I don't see it being
Because
like you're
I don't see
making
the
fun of-
problem because it's not making fun of anyone. It's
Except
just
refs
it's
that can't make
right. It's
calls.
like it's one particular situation they're using. There's no. It's people taking things too sensitive.
Yes, too sensitive.
People are just being over the top.
And
That's my personal opinion.
I'm normally a defender of sensitivity in that way. Normally, 364 days out of the year, when somebody's like, that's horrible. Come on, you shouldn't do that. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Come on. What's it all for? It's Halloween.
Yes.
It's one day.
Are you
For
allowed
God's
to
sake. Yeah,
joke?
it's 3 hours. People can walk around dressed like idiots. Like,
It's
why
not like somebody's
you know?
going, I'm blind, therefore I am a monstrous creature that is.
Right.
Right. When he said, like, now you're saying my child is a monster, I'm like,
No,
wait,
not at
no.
all.
I went as
Yeah.
a cartoon character, and I don't expect that cartoon character to be looked at as a monster.
Yeah.
Because I went as them. That's
All right.
crazy.
Well, I guess this is our last show before Halloween. So happy Halloween, everybody! I hope everybody goes out on Wednesday and celebrates. We will be back. I'll start rolling a little music here. Let's see. That one looks good.
I guess we need to have like photos of what we dress up as, right? If we can't dress up on the show.
Maybe I'll bring in some pictures of
I'll see if I can get a photo.
of stuff. I don't know what
what
we're
I'm
gonna end
doing.
up doing around here. I think I'll be gone on Halloween. I'm not sure.
We
This is gonna be.
Yeah, we were
it's
trying.
gonna be a bad
Ann
day.
and I were trying to work that out. Whether we should dress up on another day. Does that
Totally.
go against the
Totally.
sanctity of
Dress up
Halloween
on Friday.
and do the lunch
That'd
break?
be all
Yeah,
right.
do like an honorary.
What's our
Halloween.
schedule?
Oh, yeah,
That
That might be
totally.
all right. That might be all right.
Anybody gonna be?
I've just
offended
kept
by
it on Matt because I'm trying to change the image, so we all.
I love that you stepped up and hopped in there, Anna. Thank you.
Good
Seriously.
job.
Yes, thank you,
killing
Anna.
it in there. Yeah.
So yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. It's every what did I just say? Everybody.
Everybody?
Everybody.
I think I combined everyone and everybody. Happy Halloween, everybody. I'm Matt. I've got Zach, Christina, Anna. We will be back presumably on Friday. So catch us then. Otherwise, follow the page and leave a comment, leave a like, and we'll see you later.
Oh yeah, I just remembered I said I would take care of
Yeah.
Music.
music in
We got a
here.
little
I got it,
music
Anna.
here.
Wait.
I got the faders. Oh
There
yeah,
it is.
right. It's the other one. I forgot.
See ya.